So this morning Shelly had an appointment for 2 hours and I decided to take Amelie to the beach, and the water was really cold, and if you watched yesterday's video you would know exactly how I felt when she wanted to go in the water with her feet, you know. Anyway, before you call this video a clickbait, let me assure you that the story I'm going to tell you is 100% true, and I will try not to exaggerate to the best of my memory the events that I'm about to tell you. Yes, I know, when a YouTuber makes a video with the title "I almost died" or "I was supposed to die," or whatever, it's generally clickbait and there's a lot of exaggeration, but I think it was close, okay? I think we got really lucky. It all started when I became friends with this guy when I was in grade 7 at school, and I think he was in grade 8, 9, 10 or 11, something like that. I was crazy, but he was much crazier than me. I'm not gonna say his name just in case I mention something that is potentially criminal, and I don't know what to bring him into it. But one day he came to me and said, we should build a rocket. Oh, and by the way, there's another story as well when we potentially almost died, but I will leave that for another video. Let's just stick to the rocket story. Anyway, he came with all these drawings and this physical with maths and calculation and how we could build a rocket that would actually fly using gunpowder. Oh yes, oh yeah. Oh, it gets better, it gets better. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this looks pretty exciting, but at the same time, really? See, here's the thing. For a rocket to actually fly, it needs to burn the fuel really fast. Otherwise, it's just gonna burn fuel and not move anywhere. So he had this drawing. It was something along the lines of like, there was like this kind of a metal pipe situation, right? And the rocket generally has like some sort of a funnel. So when the fuel burns, it goes through this funnel really fast, and it goes up, right? And he had all these calculations and all these formulas and stuff that I don't know where he got from, probably from school or his physics teacher or something. And he thought that maybe if we use gunpowder, it would burn fast enough, and depending on the circumference here, it would actually, there was a lot of science behind it, okay? A lot of it. So on the D-Day, the day we decided to build this rocket, we bought a copper pipe of kind of this size, this diameter, and we also bought a copper joint to close one of the ends of the pipe, and we glued it together, and then all we needed to do was to fill the pipe with gunpowder. Now there are basically two problems with this plan. The first one being gunpowder is a controlled substance in Brazil. I was living in Brazil at the time because this was over 15 years ago. But there was not really a problem we couldn't solve, because my friend has been researching how to make gunpowder for a while. Don't ask me why, but he had all the ingredients there that I'm not gonna tell you what they are, because I don't want this video to be flagged as anything suspicious. And to make sure that the gunpowder was gonna burn as fast as we needed, we tried different combinations, like different ratios of the ingredients to see which one would burn faster. And we did that, and we decided, okay, this is the right ratio. But then there's the second problem. I don't know if this is scientifically accurate or anything. I don't know the validity of this claim. I'm just gonna repeat what my friend told me on the day. If you fill the thing with gunpowder, let's just say you fill the thing is completely filled with gunpowder, but there is a bubble there of air, what would happen is it would burn until it reaches here, and then it would explode. Again, I don't know if this is right or not. We didn't want it to explode for many reasons. Well, one of them is it's an explosion, it's potentially dangerous. And the second reason is if it explodes, the pipe will break into many pieces and it will fly everywhere, which makes it even more dangerous. So we solved that problem by making the gunpowder very fine and putting as hard as we could inside, and then filling the whole thing with almost 100% ethanol, you know, pressing it down as much as we could and waiting until the ethanol evaporated. So it was basically like a solid gunpowder bar inside this pipe with no air inside, or at least we hoped there was no air inside. When everything was dry and we were satisfied that the thing was safe, safe, we decided it was time to ignite our rocket. So we built a little launch pad with wood on some sort of park, in a public park near his house. He lived in this closed condominium, whatever it's called, like where people build houses and stuff, but it's closed as a security, as a gate. It was very large, and right next to his house there was a park, and that's where we built this thing. So just imagine it was like a 30 meters by 30 meters grassy area with some bushes and stuff, but it was mostly open area. And we built this platform with wood, and then we decided, well, we're not gonna ignite by being next to it just in case it explodes. We're not idiots. Come on. So we got this, what is it called? This iron washing thing they use to wash pots. What is it called? It's something like this, but it's made of steel. And if you set it on fire, it kind of burns really quickly. And we connected that to 2 wires that we then plugged into the power. Because the moment you turn the power on, the steel would catch on fire because it will conduct electricity and get really hot, and hopefully would ignite the rocket. We tried that a few times, nothing worked. We tried and we moved and did it, and the cable went closer and closer, and trying to make it less or more. We tried to make a little path when that failed of gunpowder, and then we ignited the end of it and waited until we reached the rocket, and still didn't work. We were so frustrated. We've been through this. We've spent hours finding the perfect ratio of ingredients, and then we put it in there, the ethanol and all that kind of stuff. The thing did not ignite, and then my friend, that's when we almost died. My friend decided that he was gonna take the matter into his own hands and grabbed the rocket like this and a lighter with the other hand and ignited the thing. And of course it was not gonna fly, it was not on the platform, but he just literally ignited. When he saw that it was on, he threw it as far as he could, and then we hid behind this wall, hoping that the thing was not going to explode. Now, thankfully it didn't explode. Thankfully, everything was alright. And by alright, I mean, it didn't move, it didn't fly anywhere. All it did is that it slowly burned the fuel. Like, I think it almost took 10 minutes to burn the whole thing. And it was literally a tiny little pipe like this. Burned the grass and burned everything that was nearby. Even the pipe melted at the end. Like we started with a pipe like this, and the pipe ended up being this small when it was like bent and all like burned and melted. But luckily it didn't explode. If it had exploded, I think the pipe would just burst into pieces and it would be potentially lethal. Please, don't do anything like this. We got really lucky, but just imagine if the opposite had happened. That's it for today's Throwback Thursday. On the next Throwback Thursday, I'll tell you the story of when I stole some chemicals from my school's lab to do something really dangerous with the same friend. Again, don't do that. Alright, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video that I think you'll like. So make sure you come back tomorrow to check it out. Bye. My favorite comment from writing a book for my daughter is from JCDO, where he says, I love this, my live stream in the background. Yeah, I forgot to mention, I was writing the book, but at the same time, I got a notification on YouTube saying JCDO is live streaming, and then I was kind of watching it at the same time that I was writing the book.